From KPRC2, this is Houston Newsmakers with Cambrell Marshall.
It was a tragic killing. Two men enjoying dinner in the outside area of the Grotto restaurant, shot and killed while being robbed. The outcry was immediate because one of the men was an off-duty New Orleans police officer. Even more outcry after arrests were made of two men who were out on bond for previous charges at the time of their arrests. Crime Stoppers of Houston has been a leading advocate for bail reform that would keep certain accused criminals behind bars and avoid the tragedy that took place at the Grotto restaurant a week or so ago. Rania Mankarious is the CEO of Crime Stoppers of Houston. Great to see you again. How frustrating is it for you when you see this sort of thing go on, people who are out on bond committing deadly crimes?
It is so unbelievably frustrating. And look, we have to be the voice of the community. We have to be the voice of victims. We have to be on the side of what's right, as you and I have been talking about. And these types of crimes do not have to happen. We understand that there are many things in the system that need to be discussed and fixed, and there have been many efforts to fix them, especially on the misdemeanor side. But when you're dealing with the most violent, repeat defendants, people who will rob you, rape you, and kill you, we can't be, as a practice, letting them out over and over and over again.
So there's been some progress made, has there not, in bond? Talk about that and how much more needs to be done.
So legislation was just hopefully signed and will go into effect within 90 days, the Damon Allen Act. And we worked very hard on this legislation. We didn't get everything we wanted, but we got a lot. And basically what it says is when you're dealing with the most violent offenders, you can't give a PR bond, a get out of jail free card. And I mean, that should be common sense for all, but it's not. And we're dealing with murderers, rapists, and people who rob, aggravated robberies. It also says that at this point, judges have to have history. I can't imagine that that's something that anyone would argue. We need to know the criminal history of the defendant. We need to know the bond history of the defendant, that they've got to sign off on that type of documentation, and all of that should be public. And I think that's a fair thing for people to want to see and ask about and have access to.
Let's talk about one of the accused Grotto killers, 19 years old, long rap sheet.
Yeah.
This is one of them. 4 offenses in the past 6 months, including 2 felonies, and both of accused of multiple bonds.
Yes.
Both of the accused, multiple bonds, able to allegedly get out and commit more crimes, and they've been in your eyesight before.
Yeah, one of them specifically, Jenkins, we actually were searching for him back in March, and Crime Stoppers apprehended him. With law enforcement paid a reward on him, and then of course he's back out on the streets and able to kill Officer Briscoe and Mr. Aculfi. And it's tragic. One, the Grotto, in the middle of the afternoon on our busiest street, right there by a traffic light where people are sitting in traffic. You think of the people in the restaurants, you think of the wait staff, you think of everybody around you, and then you think of these 2 individuals who literally paid the price for bail reform, an ideology that is not translating it well in society.
Tillman Fertitta, owner of the company that owns the Grotto, stepped up to boost the reward for information leading to arrest. How big of a factor was that? How much does it help you? As much as it helps raise the awareness really about what you're doing, it kind of does both at the same time.
That's exactly right. It does both at the same time. And I have to say what's really interesting, over the last 3 years, the number of tipsters that call and say, look, we actually don't want the reward, we just want to give you the information, is going up. And I love that. The community is becoming collectively public safety minded. We're all saying we cannot continue this way. We cannot. And whatever we can do to help, we will help. Now, when somebody like Tillman Fertitta steps in and offers $60,000 to round out our reward to $100,000, it's huge. It's huge, and the community hears that, tipsters hear that, and obviously the calls went up right away.
Your organization has evolved through the years. You've become more of an activist organization, quite frankly, because you have had to.
Yes.
The challenge of doing that, stepping out of that old role into the new role of doing what, quote, is right.
Yeah, it's been very important. You know, we are on the forefront of public safety. So when we needed to be in the schools, kindergarten through 12th grade, we said we need to be there. We need to make sure kids do not go from the cradle to prison pipeline. We have to be offering free education. We have to be out in the community. And when this issue of bail reform started to apply in felony cases where we're letting people out, you know, a get out of jail free card or very, very low bonds, you know, we're not following up when they've committed committed a crime while out on bond. Nothing's happening to them. We had to step into this role. People call it political. People have been upset with us, but at the end of the day, it's not about politics to us. It's about public safety. Officer Briscoe should not have been shot in the middle of the afternoon in one of our busiest parts of town, visiting from New Orleans. That should not be our city. Absolutely not.
And it was allegedly by someone who had been, not allegedly, he'd been out on bond before, and so that could have not happened had he been in jail.
And this is the biggest part for me. Advocates for bond reform are looking singularly at the criminal. You know, we've got to be giving them a fair shot, second chances. We have not done Jenkins or Jackson any favors, because now at 19 and 21 years old, they face possibly the death penalty or life in prison without parole. What favors did we even do for them? You know, as a society, as a community, we've got to look at everyone's best interests, including those who have a propensity to commit violent crime.
I'm going to make sure I have information on my website so people can get to know where you are, so they can find out everything about you. I already know I'm I'm the founder of the Rania Mankarious fan club, so I know all that. So, but I want everybody to know, thank you for being here. Thank you for what you do, stopping the bad guys and giving the good guys the opportunity to know what we can do to help. Appreciate you.
Thank you. We do it together. Thank you.
Good to see you in person, too.
I know. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.